Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for thinking of us for your podcast.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad to do it, and it's going to be great to be able to talk about some amazing new music that Former Worlds has been able to put out with iterations of time. I mean, I've gotten the chance to be able to check this out over the course of the last half a week or so, and I just really love what's going on between all four tracks. I mean, it just has this great vibe of the atmospheric stuff, some great sludgy doom moments. Your voice is amazing on the on the album. I mean, it's just I really love what Former Worlds has done here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, not a problem. So, for those that may not be familiar, how did this whole band come together?
So in 2015, my bandmate Mike Britson and former drummer JJ Anselmi, and then also former member Boone Julius, they formed and started writing together. We had a EP that they wrote out in their entirety, and then started working on the album. And then I was asked to join about a year later. I think I joined in the summertime of 2016. So that was kind of the start of everything. And then the EP released, and then we worked on the album, had a lineup change. JJ ended up moving out to California, and then Eric Anderson, who is our current drummer, ended up joining the band about maybe 2 years ago now.
Oh, that, it's great to see that. I mean, here in Minnesota, I mean, there's so many great musicians out there, and I'm glad to see that there was people that were able to fill out those slots to be able to make this album come a reality.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of different components coming together. I feel like with changing of members and the writing process, you kind of see a shift of every person touching the material and kind of transmuting each time, you get new members and all of that. So it's cool to see what Eric's bringing to the table now, especially as we're writing new material. It's been really fun.
And what has that been like? I mean, when the full lineup finally came together, I mean, what was that like to finally start working towards the new album again?
Honestly, it's been really, really inspiring. I came on with Former Worlds, and they pretty much had, they had the whole EP written and a good chunk of the album that's releasing iterations of time. So, for me, it'll be, the full process instead of jumping in halfway through. So seeing Eric's style kind of mesh with how we're writing everything, Mike's writing everything. He's been a really, really great addition to Former Worlds, I believe.
Yeah, and again, it's so great to see that too. I mean, between everyone in the band and just hearing how the materials come out and how well your voice meshes with the album and the material that was written and everything. I mean, it goes through so many great highs and lows, peaks and valleys, and it really grabs your attention, and it's great to see that, like, on the first full LP, that an album can hit you that hard.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the last thing that you said? You cut out a little bit.
Oh, I was just saying, it's great to see with, like, how all the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys, your first EP can hit you so hard with the material that was made.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting the way that Mike formulates. We do long format songs, and he does a really good job of composing. I kind of look at it as a landscape, and he's got these like really wonderful, rugged, like heavy parts that are happening, and then we'll transition into something that's a little bit more ethereal, melodic, droney, and then bring it right back. So I've been having a really fun time kind of navigating through all of the changes throughout one song. And I also really have been enjoying writing in a long format. I feel like it gives you this opportunity to see a concept for a song all the way through instead of just giving you tiny little glimpses. If we were to do shorter songs, the format wouldn't be able to be fully realized. I don't think we would have as much of the peaks and the valleys in the songs.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm so glad to hear that too. I mean, I really love it when a lyricist is able to be able to tell the full story rather than just giving glimpses of what the story can be in the song. And when you do have the longer format songs, like is showing off on this album, and of course the first EP, just being able to stretch out those stories and give those details, and it gives so much more impact when you really start to understand the lyrics and understand the story that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. It opens up, I think, a little bit of a larger gamut to work with, which is really cool. It also can be trying because if you're sometimes when you come up with a concept in your writing and you have more space to fill, it's like a nice creative exercise. It gets to be sometimes difficult. Sorry, my dog is making a noise. A little bit difficult if you're in the writing process and you realize you have more words that you have to write. But I think just sitting down and rehashing through things, it's all revision process and editing, which is fun.
And I gotta imagine when this whole LP was wrapping up and you were finishing up with the vocals, I gotta imagine that had to be like very inspiring, being able to listen back and have that creativity in mind, that you were able to accomplish more of that long form writing, and just knowing that if you can do that here, that you'll be able to continue on and progress in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because we'll continue writing in the long format song structure that won't be changing. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, just like with the EP and with the LP, and just being able to continue with that format and the changes and everything that can happen with that. And, just like making sure that the stories are as long as you can make them out to be, and making everything fit. I mean, the fact that the EP sounds as great as it does and the LP is just coming out even stronger than that. It's just I'm so happy to see that the band is progressing in this way and everything that'll be going on in the future.
Yeah, we're really excited for how things are shaping up for the new writing material, which is cool.
So with that in mind, I mean, how does it feel for this LP to finally be coming out at the end of the month?
Oh, I'm really excited. We've been working on it for the last 3 years, so it's been daunting at times, been really exciting at times. I think that the peaks that have happened with excitement would be, finally getting all of the tracks we recorded over at Signature Tone. So anytime we go into there, it's always really high energy, great recording atmosphere, super supportive. So I love that process. I think we're all very excited to get it out because we've been sitting with the material for so long. We had JJ actually track drums right before he moved out to California, so the original drummer will be on Iterations of Time, and then we got Eric up to speed with all of the material. And then as soon as that started happening, he was caught up to speed with everything. We went into the recording studio and finished the album. So that was kind of an interesting dynamic, having to navigate through lineup changes while we're in the process of trying to finish an album. But yeah, we're all very, very excited.
Yeah, and again, it's so great to see that too, especially when there can be lineup changes. Sometimes that can even break up the entire band in some cases, and I'm just so glad to see everything was able to forge ahead. You were able to fill out the lineup once again, being able to get this completely tracked, and over the course of a few years, being able to actually have this LP come to fruition, being able to have someone like myself being able to check it out, enjoy what I'm hearing, and I imagine everyone else, when they get the chance to be able to check this out too, I hope they're going to be as blown away as I am.
Yeah, we hope so too.
And, another great aspect of this album, is not just the music that's being laid down, not just the vocals, but the artwork as well is just amazing. I love the disintegration that's going on with the album and the way that it looks. Like, how did that come together for the artwork?
So I do all of the artwork for Former World, I guess since I joined at least. During the process, it's just, I kind of try and start making visual art as I'm working on the music component, and I let both inform each other. So a lot of the aesthetic that I deal with for Former Worlds is I'll do a lot of abstract components. I love drawing and charcoal and graphite and doing a lot of monotype print and kind of melding photography and a drawn component together. So as we were finishing up the LP and we're getting ready to send it out to the pressing plant, I tied everything up. I ended up actually driving down to the Ozarks and photographing a bunch of caves. So on the inside thread, I don't know if you got to see the photographs of the actual vinyl.
Not yet.
Okay. On the inside, there's a thread of 2 photographs from when I went down to some caverns down in the Ozarks and just kind of tied everything together conceptually with visual art and then with the music component. But yeah, I'm kind of holding my breath because I didn't get to see its printed format before sending it off. We didn't get any proofs or anything. So I was a little bit apprehensive to see what it turned out like, but we got the vinyl in hand earlier last month, I guess, and everything turned out super wonderful. I think they did a great job.
Oh, and I'm so glad to hear that too. And it's just so cool that you're able to show off different forms of your art rather than just the music side. I mean, the fact that you're able to do the artwork like that, you're able to do the photography like that. I mean, you're able to contribute so much different kinds of art into this band, and it's awesome to see when a band members are really being able to show all the different sides that they can in a band.
Yeah, I think also for me, tying both together really helped. Instead of, when you're creating the music, you know what the music's about, you know what the feeling is. And to put, as a visual artist, if I were to just hand that off to someone else to create, I feel like I would have a hard time not being too nitpicky, It was kind of just like an organic, like marrying the visual component and the music component together, I feel like is a very organic process because when you're in the middle of creating one thing, I feel like it's inspiration in all the different physical realms, artwork, the like packaging and all of the components that go into the release of the album.
Oh, I can absolutely imagine that. And again, I mean, the fact that you were able to take charge like that and, being able to use the lyrics as inspiration, being able to really visualize it in so many different ways. And when I look at the artwork and I picture the songs in my mind, I mean, it really feels like that alone gives like a great glimpse of what the album is about. And knowing about the artwork with or the photography that's also a part of the vinyl release, I mean, I'm very excited to be able to see that as well because that just sounds gorgeous with the way you described it.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I think I cut out for a second there.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if you heard what I said there, but yeah, I mean, it's just I love the artwork that's going on with this because it just like it gives such a great little glimpse of what the album is about. And just like you were talking about with the photography and being able to do the Ozark Caves like that, I just imagine when I get a chance to look at that, when everyone who buys the vinyl gets the chance to check that out, it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy with it. I hope it all ties together seamlessly.
Oh, yes. So, with that in mind, I mean, with so many great things that's going on right now, I mean, what's going to be going on now after the release of the album?
So, right now, we have the release. We're kind of still hunkered down in the writing process. So we'll probably continue to do that until that wraps up, and then I'm assuming at that point it's going to be summertime. So we'll be probably picking up some more shows. We haven't really planned an actual out-of-town string of shows yet, but it's in conversation right now. So hopefully we'll do maybe a small Midwest run over the summertime. And then at that point we'll probably be debuting some new material live as well.
Oh, that's so great. And, it's just awesome to see that the creative juices are still flowing for that. I mean, the fact that there's already still new material that's being written right now and possible live debuts coming up, and I imagine getting to record that as soon as it works out as well, too. I mean, I'm glad to see that everything is moving forward the way that it should be.
Yeah, I feel like the momentum that's going on now, especially, once we had everything figured out for the album release, it's just, it's been moving pretty well and pretty seamlessly.
So, with that in mind, I mean, with still writing the songs and everything, is it too soon to like give anything away about what to look forward to at that next release, or is there anything that you can say?
Not really right now. We're pretty early in the process and things are still coming together, but I guess we're all just very excited to be writing and to be making new material. We'll be very excited to start playing it and then doing more shows with different songs to offer, which will be really fun.
Yeah, and you know, I can just hear it in your voice. I mean, how excited you sound to be able to continue doing all that as well. I mean, the fact that the upcoming writing, you know, just being able to do that in this full lineup, being able to do the live shows coming up and the full lineup, and being able to continue on with Former Worlds the way that it's going. I mean, again, you know, just as a new fan, being able to discover this band and this album and being able to check out the EP in the meantime as well, too. It's just, again, over the course of the last few years, seeing the band rise the ways that it has and just being able to continue writing such amazing music. I'm already looking forward to the next release of music that'll be happening, catching any upcoming live shows, and just being able to support this band because I really love the way things are going.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Oh, not a problem at all. And, you know, I think with that, I think that's an amazing note to end on. And thank you once again for taking this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with Former Worlds, and of course the new album, the debut album, the Iterations of Time, being able to come out January 31st. I really love what's going on with this album, like I've said, from start to finish. I love the stories that's going on there. I love the way everything feels like it's meant to be together on this album, whether it's lyrical changes, whether it's musical changes. You know, I just love everything that's going on here, and again, I thank you very much for taking the time to be able to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Oh, I suppose maybe just announcing the record release show that we have at Part Wolf. That follows the next day after the album release. It's February 1st, Saturday, February 1st at Part Wolf, and we're playing with local band support of Ash Eater, Blue Ox, and Lung.
Oh, that's such an incredibly stacked lineup. I'm glad to see that you were able to put that together. That is so cool.
Yeah, all of those folks are either former or current roommates of mine and really close friends. So I was really, really happy that everyone was able to sign on for it. It'll be good. It'll be a fun show, I believe.